so much for coming. On behalf of the Henderson family, I'd like to welcome you here today and sincerely thank each one of you for joining us this morning as we celebrate the life of Henderson. Judy, Lindsey, Ian, and Lauren, and the rest of the family. We really are joined by really special friends and family this morning. I just hope that you feel that, and that you feel the support that's around you this morning. I know that Alison would have loved to have been here, but unfortunately this wasn't possible. So can you hear me at the back? Yeah. Before I use the mic. I know that Alison would have loved to have been here today, but sadly it wasn't possible, and technology fortunately allows her to dial in and listen, which is great. Billy has 7 grandkids, and we've got Luke and Ems here, so well done guys for representing all the grandkids, and I hope you see how many friends Grandpa had. It's really impressive. My name is Matt Hosack. I'm just a friend of Lauren's. I'm not a preacher or anything, but we did an alpha course a few years ago, and yeah, feel very privileged that she's asked me to conduct the service. And we shared a lot together, you and Shane. Thank you, Lauren, for the opportunity. Today really is a celebration of life. And when I met with Lauren earlier this week, the first thing she said when describing Billy was he absolutely loved life. And he was loved by all. She also mentioned that Billy loved a party. And so it's no surprise that the family have chosen bright and beautiful as the theme. So it's really great to see all the colors and to see all of you have come out in your colors to celebrate. So thank you for that. I'd like to read a short verse from Psalms, just to set the tone for today. I'm going to drop this if that's okay. Do you need it for the feed?
Sorry, the online people won't hear you.
Okay, sorry. All right, so I'd like to read a short verse from Psalms this morning, just to set the tone for today, if that's okay. And Psalms are essentially songs. Psalm 103 is a song written by David, and he really is basically praising God for his mercy and his compassion. But in verse 15, David sings about the colorful beauty, but also the fleeting nature of life, and he praises God's everlasting love as a result of that. And it says in verse 15, the life of man is like grass. They flourish like a flower in the field. The wind blows over it, and it is gone. But from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is there with those who fear him, and his righteousness with their children's children. So, ladies and gents and family and friends, my hope is that today, as we celebrate Billy's life, it helps you to reflect not only your happy memories that you've got of Billy over his lifetime, but also to think maybe how to reflect on how precious and fleeting life is to each one of us. We're now going to stand and sing the first hymn, which is Amazing Grace. Please stand. please take a seat. Yeah, what an incredible hymn, the words of which always strike me, and I'm sure a lot of you as well, as to the sort of true heart of what I think is the Christian faith. Grace being extended to each one of us by a loving God, whether we deserve it or not. So yeah, awesome hymn. Right, I'd like to now call upon Ian to talk about Billy and to deliver the eulogy.
My father, William Henderson, better known as Billy, Bill or Billy Boy to many, was born on the 21st of April 1942 in Glasgow, Scotland. Son to Alec, Polly, younger brother to Robert, his family relocated to Bulawayo, Rhodesia in 1947. My dad, who resided in Burnside, Bulawayo, was schooled at Milton Junior and Senior School, where he was possibly one of the naughtiest children. During his childhood days, he developed a love for horses, and had he not grown in height, was deemed to be the next best jockey. The Henderson home had horse stables with 6 horses, one of which was Dad's, named Jolly. He went on to become a very proud Rhodesian show jumper, and throughout his life always had an absolute love for horses. He was part of a horse racing syndicate in Harare with racing horses named Irish Punt, Silver Fling, By Express and Hot Chick. I know of a few of the horse racing syndicate are here today, and thank you for being here and for the good times. At the age of 16, Dad wrote his O-level exams and managed to pass art, which he once told me was because he drew a funny picture of a mother bathing her baby. He used to bunk out of school at break time to either go horse riding with his brother Rob at Hillside Dam in Bulawayo or down to the town for a beer. Our poor tiny Nana and Papa had no idea what the boys were up to, but loved them dearly. The Henderson brothers were a renowned duo in Bulawayo with the young ladies, until one day Dad met Jackie, his first wife, and they became the proud parents of Alison and Lindsey. Alison and Lindsey can tell many a story about growing up as teenagers with Dad in Bulawayo. Ali recently told me when they were 16, they said they would meet Dad outside the disco. However, he came inside and started dancing. Dad very rarely was angry with us kids. However, one story I remember him telling us was when Ali and Linz didn't come home, and he said to my mum, "I'm going to gate them when they get home." As the doorbell went and Dad opened the front door, the girls had arrived home with 6-foot-tall Rhodesian rugby players, and of course Dad welcomed them in for a drink with open arms. Ali and Linz spent many years living with Dad in Bulawayo until one day Ali put up her hand in Townsend School and asked her teacher, Miss Sandberg, if she would go on a blind date with her dad. After much persuasion, my mum said yes. Whilst coaching sport that afternoon, the secretary came running over and said, "Miss Sandberg, there is a man who has called 5 times and wants to speak to you." Off she went on her blind date that night. Dad picked her up. Her best friend, Sheila James, ended up coming along too and sitting in the front next to Dad and Mum in the back. And yes, the rest was history. My mum and Dad were married on the 14th of August 1981, and soon after Mum was pregnant with Lauren, and it was the beginning of the next chapter of his life. The year after Lauren was born, my mum's sister Ros married Peter in Harare, and Dad drove my granddad Sandy and Auntie Ros to the church, and she often tells me how we flew around the block a few times as it was raining. He was a wild driver, as so many know, and following their wonderful celebration, however, came the calamity where Dad taped the TV show Dallas over the only VCR they had of the ceremony and reception. And to make it even worse, when the recording stopped, it was then his turn to stand up and give a speech at the wedding. As part of my father's career promotion and opportunity to take over Associate Brokers International, office in Harare from Derek Chapman, my parents relocated from Bulawayo to Harare in January 1982, where they bought 1 Cheshire Road in Avondale, which ended up being our happy family home for our time in Harare. It was the happiest of homes which they created and evolved over the years, with a beautiful garden. My father was so very proud of his home. He always had an open door policy, constantly entertained with garden parties, lunches, and guest visiting. Eva, Shupi, and Fandi, our domestic staff, were all a very special part of Dad's life and could certainly tell a story or two. He was the most hospitable man. His beautiful bar was one of his absolute sanctuaries. I have so many fond memories of many parties with their friends, Lauren's and mine, throughout those days. Sundays at the Hendersons in Harare was always a day by the pool, with the bride listening to Tom Petty, the Travelling Wilburys, Roxette and Queen, and so many more old-time favourites. Lindsey and Mark Rhodes would often join us after Mark had taken Lauren and I for a treat in one of his infamous cars. And I have so many happy memories of everyone dancing on the bar to Lalabamba and the infamous silver jug of Dom Pedro's, a.k.a. hooligan juice at the Hendersons. I will never forget the time when Dad had the Scottle Braai by the pool and whilst cooking chipolata sausages, decided to pour some of the oil off the plate into the pool. All the sausages fell into the pool. Dad dived in to save them. And this is just one of the funny stories of a man who just lived his life to the full, constantly providing us with entertainment. Harare was a place of so many special friendships, from tennis at the Harare Sports Club to dinners at the Acropolis Greek restaurant. Dad lived a life surrounded by all his family and friends who loved him so very much. So many brilliant stories and laughs for his book of life, but there was one story that did make me really laugh recently that I didn't actually know about. Many years ago, my mum and dad were at Tamara and Alistair Wright's house, and during the evening, a little rabbit from the neighbours next door appeared from nowhere and was hopping around the room. We all know how hard it is to catch a rabbit. However, my dad leant down, picked up the rabbit, put it on his lap, started stroking it, turned to Tamara and said, "I never knew you had a cat." And this just sums Dad up to a T. Dad was always fortunate to travel the world and visit so many beautiful places. However, Mauritius was one of his favourite places. He loved sunshine and the beach. He loved swimming as well as water polo when he was at school. Dad even attempted skiing in Austria many years ago when we went with the Wrights and Hounsels. Let's just say it wasn't his forte. He ended up upside down on the ski lift and skied into all the skis outside the Après igloo. Throughout his life, he absolutely loved going to the gym every single day, and he always maintained his swimming, cardio, and weights. He loved reading every single health article and taking every vitamin in the world, and really took pride in how he looked. Up until the very end, he was remarkably fit, and specialists always used to comment on how well and fit he was for his age. My father's career was always in the insurance industry, starting off in Bulawayo, where he worked for Rolf Harris, the mayor of Bulawayo, who knew my grandfather Alec well and thought Dad was wonderful and wanted to help with his career. He then moved to Minette Sheldon, Associate Brokers International, and throughout his years, there was a key part to building successful insurance broking businesses. In the early 1990s, he founded Henderson and Associates, based in Livingston House in Harare. He then went into partnership with Boyd Lewis in the Avenues, and later with Paul Rugg in Prince's Drive, Newlands. Following his departure from the insurance broking world, he spent his latter years in medical insurance, life insurance, and property investment. His Durban chapter brought so much joy and happiness, despite many hardships which came his way. During his time living in Durban, Dad worked on a freelance basis for a lifelong friend and ex-business colleague, Peter Borley, at I.J. Duncan and Partners, and continued to work in the life insurance industry. He finally retired, living in Kloof, where he just loved his gym. He painted a total of 65 pictures and took great pride in giving these away to local old age homes, friends, and family. I proudly have a picture of a brightly multicolored father and son elephants in my home in England. He was always surrounded by such kind people throughout his time in South Africa and in his last era, Thaxted Complex in Kloof, Durban, where my parents have built such a wonderful community. We are so thankful for the entire Thaxted community support since Dad passed away. We are truly blessed that he spent his final days in his happy haven and where my mum will now be surrounded and comforted by her special friends. Following the passing of my father, it has been wonderful to listen to stories of people who surrounded him in his final years. One which did make me laugh was the pool boys who came to clean the pool soon after Dad had passed and said, Nkulu always used to say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And how many pools do you clean a day? And that was the same thing that he asked them every single week. And this is just a testament to the man he was. Our maid Wendy and gardener Tommy, who have both been with my parents for many years, were in Durban, have become such a special part of the family, and in Dad's final years, they built an even closer bond with him. Wendy told me recently that Dad always used to come through and say, Wendy, how are the family? He would then come back a few minutes later and ask the same question, and then he'd say to her, hey Wendy, don't touch my whiskey. Dad had several health issues over the last few years, and most lately, he suffered from the cruel disease dementia. Despite the challenges of dementia, he did, however, continue to regularly go to the gym, paint, loved to Scrabble and crosswords. He loved his early evening whiskies with lots of ice, sitting watching his favorite TV shows, any sport, and always had the wine and ice ready for when Mum arrived home from school to sit next to him and enjoy the evening together. I can't put into words how grateful I am for all that my mum did so patiently and gracefully to love and care for him till the very end. His passing was very unexpected and sudden, but he went peacefully, and I believe this was God's way of protecting him from further deterioration of this cruel disease. A very traumatic way for us to say goodbye to Mum's soulmate and our dad, who was on full life support. A very hard and life-changing decision that changes the way you look at life forever. However, it was the kindest thing we could have done for our Billy boy. He went peacefully and gracefully with his angels to heaven at 10:05 p.m. on Tuesday, the 17th of December, 2024. I would like to say a massive thank you to the Busa Med Private Hospital in Hillcrest, Durban, specialist nurses, world-class facilities, and every more reason why my family moved to Durban all those years ago. We were truly blessed. I also want to thank the Oakley Funeral Home in Gillett, Durban, for the most seamless journey for us to process. Dad was cremated on Friday the 20th of December at 11 a.m. We sent him off in his favourite blue outfit. I polished his shoes, and we made a collage of family pictures with letters of love. My father was the most devoted son, brother, husband, father, grandfather, extended family, friend, and business acquaintance to so many. His love for my mum was immeasurable. They told the most incredible love story, and I know that my dad will be with my mum forever. He was a wonderful father to Alison, Lindsey, Lauren, and I throughout our lives, and always supported us in our decisions, no matter what. He was wise, thoughtful, caring, and a loving man, always with a dash of Billy humour. Thanks to Dad, our family were blessed with 7 grandchildren, Emily and Billy in Berlin, Bridget in Sydney, Daniel and Joshua in Christchurch, New Zealand, and Luke and Emma here in Harare. We are truly a unique family from all walks of life, different ages, different countries, but always one creator, and that was my dad. My father would want us as a family to stick together, celebrate his life, and move forward together one step at a time, and we will do just that. We are so lucky that my mum and Dad's first wife Jackie share a special bond, and all our siblings are such a close unit. In May 2009, he underwent heart surgery and always told us when he came back to consciousness, he was surrounded by his guardian angel's wings. He was a very spiritual man and had a huge belief in crystals, angels, and had a real faith in God. I know he is safely in heaven, no longer confused or suffering. I am very grateful that I was able to fly to Durban from London 2 days before Dad left us. I can still feel the soft touch of his beautiful hand, as incredibly hard as it was saying goodbye. I felt his soul had already left his body. I promise to walk in the footsteps of your legacy, the Henderson flag held high, and make you proud every single day. My father, Billy, taught me so many lessons, and I know my heart, which feels empty right now, will stand right next to me always, and I know when I need some help, I've got my guardian angel. I hope you don't mind me wearing your boat shoes today, Dad. Don't worry, I had them polished, as I know how much you love polished shoes. I just wanted to say to you, thank you, Dad. You were not a good man. You were a wonderful man, and I am so privileged to have been your son. Fly high with your wonderful angels and rest peacefully. I have absolutely no doubt you are running that bar in heaven, pouring whiskies with lots of ice, dancing and singing to Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. I love you, and I will always be your son.
Well spoken, Ian. Awesome, awesome eulogy, and some lovely memories there. I'm sure there'll be a ton more memories spoken about and shared after this and after the service. I'd like to invite Roz up to give the next reading. Thank you, Roz.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Thank you, Roz. Could I now call upon Lindsey and Lauren to reflect on their dad?
This is a message from our sister Alison, who obviously couldn't be with us. Sorry, I've got to put the glasses on. Dad, I can't be at your memorial, but I'm with you in my heart. Alex sends his love too. You always said, you're my firstborn, your daddy loves you, and held my hand just like Tiny Nana held mine. I imagine you holding her hand again now. That brings me peace. You've brought so much love and laughter into everyone's lives. You've taught me that love is what truly matters. Just by being you, I can still feel you here, and I know you can see and feel me too. I'll talk to you through the crystal pendulum. I'm so thankful for everything you've given us, the unconditional love, the endless support. I think this quote is perfect for you, Dad. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we are apart, I'll always be with you. Your firstborn loves you so, so much. Alison.
This is from some family friends. William, Billy Boy Nyamanza. What a legend. To me, he was a man who never had a bad thing to say about anyone. He was generous, kind, and loving with no enemies. Billy was the most wonderful human, always providing great humor and living a life with no regrets. I knew Billy for over 50 years, first meeting him while playing tennis with Lindsey and Alison in Bulawayo. Both Billy and Judy were very good to me when I returned to Harare after a wonderful year at the University of Pietermaritzburg. I remember a skiing holiday with the Wrights and Hendersons in Austria. Billy really suffered from the high altitude and vertigo on the ski lifts, battling heart palpitations. Dr. Friedel was called in to examine him. With a twinkle in his eye, Dr. Friedel told Billy that he wouldn't suggest anyone buying him a long-playing record. Billy immediately picked up on this and said, "Get me a triple whiskey, I'm not wasting time." Thankfully, Dr. Friedel was wrong, and we had many more wonderful times with Billy. One Friday evening, we were having drinks in his office in Livingston House, which overlooked the Harare Gardens. While swinging on his chair, he grandly gestured, "Look at my beautiful estate," and managed to fall backward out of his chair, landing with his head in the dustbin. There was much mirth in the office. None of us could help him as he tried to extricate himself from the chair and the dustbin with his arms and legs frantically waving. Judy was playing social tennis one Saturday afternoon, and Billy had been tasked with looking after Lauren. He did so while watching rugby with me. Obviously, both Billy and I had no idea about changing nappies. When the occasion arose, Lauren was hosed down in the middle of winter and left to dry by the fire. When Jude came home, she was livid, but Lauren seemed to have come through just fine. Another time we pushed Judy's buttons when she was hosting a lunch party. We were tasked with buying some cream. We popped out to the shops, only to return 5 hours later with the cream still on the roof of the car and most of the guests had left. Billy had a very soft spot for our daughter Jodie. Billy and Jode spent many hours playing cards and Scrabble together. She used to get him to sing his "I Belong to Glasgow" song over and over, to much hilarity from her side. Very special memories to have. Jude, you have been the most wonderful wife, partner and soulmate to Billy. He adored you and stood by his side. You stood by his side in sickness and in health. You complemented each other in so many ways and were best friends. His passing has knocked us all, but please know that we are here to help you get through the difficult times. We are so sorry that we can't be with you today, but each one of us is heartbroken over the loss of Billy. With all our love, Mark, Belle, Ryan and Jodes. You're up.
I'm up. Okay. Hi, everyone. As you all know and have already heard, my dad was a very social person and loved life, but to me, he was just Dad. A dad who also loved to just be at home, listen to music, have a drink with his family, and finish off the day watching TV. Dad loved to make people laugh, but was just a gentle, kind, and sensitive father who loved us dearly and unconditionally. He would do anything for us. He stood by us through thick and thin, backed our decisions in life, and was there to pick us up if it didn't go to plan. Dad always encouraged his children to succeed and find their own paths in life. He had faith in my decisions, and I cherish the wonderful memories of our weekly lunches in Harare, where we would discuss anything from business to politics and life in general. His advice was invaluable and taught me that the road to success was enjoying life, but also working hard, taking risks and dreaming big. And that although life can throw you some curveballs, you must never give up. He helped and guided me in so many ways, and I'll be eternally grateful. We will always carry memories of Dad, especially his occasional clumsiness, if some of you know that, which has been passed down through generations. Whenever I see this trait in my boys, I can't help but laugh and say, they just had a Billy moment. Dad, thank you for all the wonderful memories. And although my heart is broken, whenever I think of you, I smile, and I know you're looking down on me with that same laugh. Love you, Dad, with all my heart. Lindsey.
To my beautiful Dad, I've struggled to find the words to say goodbye. It doesn't seem real. You are my shining star, my hero. Always kind, always honest, always giving, always loving, always having fun, and absolutely always there for your family and friends. You taught me and everyone here just how important in life it is to have fun and laugh lots. That Henderson gene of yours is incredibly strong, as we see through all your children and grandchildren. I'm so proud to be your daughter. There are too many great stories to tell. We have been reminiscing since the day you left us, and as sad as it has been, there has also been so much joy and laughter as you would have loved. One of the greatest gifts you taught me, and I'm quite sure most people will agree, is the ability to have fun. Life is just too short to have a boring time. You and Mum always welcomed anyone and everyone into our beautiful home in Cheshire Road with open arms, love, music, dancing, TV marathons, midnight egg and bacon snacks, Dom Pedro's, scotch with lots of ice, and of course plenty of Judy's famous sausage rolls. I love entertaining and having a good party just as you did, and I was so privileged to host your 80th birthday, an extremely special lunch with family and friends. Towards the end of the evening, our dear friend Kev Parsons held a walking stick, and you passed it around and said one thing you loved about Billy. Everything that was said was obviously amazing that evening, but two stood out to me. The first was Al Wright, saying Billy had no enemies, forgave easily, and got on with everyone. What an incredible trait to have. The second was Janusz Negri. He said, as long as he has known Billy, it hasn't been Billy, it has been Billy and Judy. This is just so true, and what a testament to the incredible marriage you and Mum had. Always by one another's sides, through every step in life. Mum, I can't thank you enough for what an incredible angel you were in Dad's life. You definitely get the gold medal for the most loyal, loving, and devoted wife. Dad, I promise we will look after your beautiful Jews. One of my proudest moments was having you come to Cape Town for the Masters World Cup hockey a few months ago. It meant the absolute world to me, having both you and Mum cheer me and our Zim team on. I will always hold on to that special memory as one of our last together. Goodbye, my beautiful Dad. You're flying high with your angels now. Yes, I know you're still here in spirit and watching over all of us with love and pride. Until we meet again, I love you, Dad.
To Billy Boy, my long-time close brother, it was a very, very sad day to lose you on the 17th of December 2024. You have left a void in my life, and I am the last of the three amigos, brothers, after Nick Tom also passed away on the 8th of July 2004. It is truly a sad day for me as we shared so many good memories together. In the early 80s, when Ian Robinson opened his executive health gym, the three of us would go to the 11 a.m. class for 1 hour, then go for a lunch at Sandro's mostly. As always, Billy Boy knew someone there to sell insurance to. Billy Boy was one of a kind who could mix business with pleasure in his daily life. The 80s and 90s were good for the three of us as we all did well in our businesses. On one occasion, Billy and Ian were traveling in my American Dodge Ram truck. Judy was away and Lauren had called to say she was changing plans and going out that night. Billy kept saying, no, you're not going out tonight, and out of frustration he threw his cell phone onto the floor of the truck, but the phone slipped out of its cover and flew into the windscreen, shattering the glass. That was one time I've seen Billy Boy angry, but it all calmed down after that event. Finally, Billy had a magical spiritual experience which moved him in the realm of belief. It was during his heart valve replacement, seeing a group of angels surrounding him. We used to speak about it a lot, and I think this has always been an important part of his life that guided him. To me, it helped me in knowing that Billy Boy is with his angels. It's very reassuring for me. Goodbye, my brother. I will see you when my time comes. Gary.
Just going to wait for a little tribute to be shown. Just 1 second, please.
And now certain, my friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I climbed each charted course, each careful step along the highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. Yes, it was my way.
Pretty awesome tribute. I think we can give that a round of applause. Yeah. Well done, guys. Awesome. Right, ladies and gents, if I could just maybe ask if you could bow your heads. We're getting to the end of the service. I just want to say a short prayer, if that's okay. Lord, we thank you for the life of Billy and for the special family that you've blessed him with. We also thank you for each and every person here today who has come to pay their respects and to support the family. Today really is a celebration of the gift of life, and specifically the life that you gave Billy, and we thank you for that. We pray for your love, comfort, and peace to be with Judy and the Henderson family today and in the days to come. May they draw comfort not only from the memories of Billy, but also from the fact that you're able to provide them with the capacity and strength when times are tough. We thank you for the precious gift of life, family, and friends, and pray for your blessing on each person here today. In your name we pray. Amen. Yeah, so ladies and gents, that signals the end of the service. Just thank you so much once again to each one of you, and yeah, just on behalf of the Henderson family, thank you for coming. It's meant the world to them. There is a tribute corner just on the table on the side there. If you wouldn't mind, it would be amazing if you could write some tributes on. There's some notepads there. Tear off the page once you've written the tribute, and I believe there's a box that you can put the tribute into under the speaker there. But having said that, there are drinks and canapes outside. Please stay and be with the family, share small memories, and thank you once again for coming. Thank you.
Oh,
scared. We both couldn't live. I was a sculptor, but then again, no, a man who makes cushions and traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is a song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's gone, I hope it don't mind, I hope it don't mind that I'm down in words. How wonderful life is while you're in the world.
online.